If you're a musician looking for split sheets to help allocate different rights to different composers' contributions, then this video is for you. I'm going to show you step by step on how to fill a song sheet. Now, the first thing you're going to need is to get this song sheet template from my website, which I will leave in the screen somewhere, but I'm going to show you step by step on how to fill it from this point onwards, and you can get it from my website, musicbizbyskill.com.
So when you get the templates, you will scroll down to the bottom where you find the split sheet. The split sheet is about page 10, and then, sorry about that, page 15, and then I highlight everything that you want to do to copy. So I recommend you don't work specifically on the templates, but you set up a new document. So I recommend using a Google Doc, because you'll always have this on your phone and readily accessible. So when you open a Google Doc, you can paste everything over there. Now, once you've pasted everything, this is when you start modifying. The nice thing about this template is that everything is highlighted to show you what you need to modify. So over here, I'm just going to put in an example. On the 4th day of May, for example, 4th day of May, and then I put in the date over there, so 2025. And then once you've modified the text, you can click where it says highlight section and then say none. And then you repeat this process throughout. So for example, over here where it says contributor name, you can put in your name. You can put in your name, for example. So I'm just going to put in there, for example. And then on where it says role, you can put in composer. And then over here where it says ID number, obviously you put in each section, you want to put in the correct information. So over here where it says ID number, you can highlight the section and then you put in an ID number. For example, the CIA IPI number, you get that from SAMRO. It's a bunch of numbers, something like that. And then the ownership share can be 50%. Okay. And then you same thing, you highlight and then you click over there and says none. And then you've removed all the highlights. And then you can just keep on going, similarly doing the same thing throughout the whole document to fill out the correct split sheets. What I recommend is that you do this when you have immediately after the recording session, so everyone knows what has been done. And then once that's been done, you can put in the split sheet and then you keep it on the Google Doc so you can always have it available. So what I like putting over here in the role column, I don't like putting producer because producer is not what SAMRO refers to. So I try use the terms SAMRO uses. So they use composer/author, for example, for someone who wrote lyrics and someone who composed the beat, for example. And let's assume someone called Joe Soap made this. Okay, and then similarly as before, you click on where it says highlight color, you say none. And then for where there's no one involved, you can just delete that totally. And over here, you can also delete, or you can add as well. So I generally just delete whatever was there. And then in the template, everything else is already in there. So over here where it says the work details, this is probably really important. So you want to put the name of the song. So Rubber Dub, the artist name. So let's assume it's SkillMusicSA. And then ISWC code, you won't have this most likely, so just remove that writing, and then the date it was created. So over here you put in the date that it was created, so let's assume it was made on the 30th of April 2025. And then same story, none. And then wherever things are highlighted, you can keep or remove. So additional works may be included via written assigned agreement. So I don't want that necessarily in this document. So I remove that. This highlight, I remove that highlight too. Then you scroll down, you can see most of the things are not there already. I mean, are not highlighted because everything else is in there. And then where it says signatures and agreements, here where it says location, put in the most accurate location. So Roadhouse Road, Randburg, for example. Johannesburg. And then on the day, so let's assume it is on the 4th of May. And then put in the correct year, 2025. And then highlight it similarly as you did over here. Say none. And then this is where all the signatures are involved. So I know I've only got 2 contributors, so I can delete the last 2. Contributor 1 is the first person, and then the date that person will sign on. So let's assume the date is the 4th of the 5th, 2025. 2025. And then similarly for here, the second contributor would be Joe Soap. And then what I do for this section, remove date, because that's not in there. The only ones you can actually account for are the ones where you are the actual signer. Remove the highlights, Okay, and then this will be filled out by Joe Soap, and then over here is where you have to sign, or wherever you put your name in that's where you'd have to sign. So what I do is say file, and then share, and then share with others. And then it'll say name your flashy split sheet agreement. What I like doing is split sheet agreement and then putting the name of the song. So I think I called it Rubber Dub, this one. So I've saved it over there as Rubber Dub. And then I would print it as a PDF over here. And then once that is printed, make sure it says save as PDF. You print it. And then once you've printed it, you send it to Joe Soap, and then Joe Soap add your signature, and then Joe Soap will add their signature. Alternatively, if you don't want to be printing, you can share it over here where it says share with other users, and then the pop-up pops up with the email addresses.
Don't forget that you can get these split sheet template and 3 publisher agreements from my website, musicbizbyskill.com, and I'll leave the link in the description, and it'll pop up on the screen up there somewhere. Until next time.